Bon dia from Barcelona.
Today is my favorite day. It is food tour day.
Woohoo! We are so excited. We are starting out at a breakfast spot I have been wanting to go to for so long. Then we are heading to one of the most popular food markets in all of Europe, honestly all of the world potentially. And then I'm so pumped. This is our first time doing this. We are going to a cooking class. We have been wanting to go to cooking classes for so long as we travel, but here in Spain, we absolutely couldn't wait any longer.
Couldn't resist, yeah.
I mean, we are going to be learning how to make paella, how to make pan con tomate, all sorts of delicious things. I am so excited. Today is just going to be a day of diving into some absolute Spanish and Catalan classics. It's going to be an absolutely amazing and delicious day. We cannot wait. Let's go get some churros.
Yes. And chocolate. Chocolate.
We have come to an absolute Barcelona classic, Granja Viader. And you know it's a classic because it has been around since 1870. Barcelona as a city is in this time of changing of the guard where there's a lot of new restaurants opening and a lot of old ones are closing. But this one hasn't. It has been around since 1870. That is so old. And that's when you know that it is a real experience that like has a place in so many people's hearts. Like that they have survived the test of time and thrived during the test of time. Like this is one of the most recommended places in this entire city to go. And we've gotten churros, so no more talking because you gotta eat these while they're fresh and hot. And they're so cute and little. We've heard that churros are actually a classic breakfast here in Spain, and this is something I can definitely get behind. They are so good. This captures just the perfect crisp outside, kind of doughy inside. There's no cinnamon on churros here. Just sugar, but also a good amount of salt going on in the dough. These are so good. I'm so glad we finally made it here. Something that I'm not exactly used to that's really kind of cool is here in Spain, like they actually, a lot of the restaurants will like take a break during the day for lunch and for rest and like during the non-peak hours. But that's been a little bit of a struggle for us because I've been wanting to come here for so long. But we always tend to want to come during the hours that it's closed. So I'm so excited that we finally woke up early enough and made it here during open hours. So this is Cacaolat. It was started in 1933. It's like this cool chocolate milky yoo-hoo looking drink. It's just a really creamy, delicious chocolate milk Cacaolat. It was actually created here at this restaurant. It's so cool to be like drinking the thing where it happened, where it began. This is absolutely delicious. We're already scheming on how we can make sure we get to come back here during our time. And now we are traveling even further back into food history here in Barcelona to 1840 when Mercat de Boqueria began. I'm gonna say it's become a little more touristy since then.
But the smells, the eye candy, it's all still there. We are paces into the market and it already all looks so good.
Jamon Iberico hanging all over the place. Fresh juices, which, I mean, fresh juice is like my love language. I love a good, inexpensive, fresh juice. Seafood fresh to buy.
I can smell it.
Cooked seafood. Like, this place is crazy, and I'm so excited to be taking a bite out of so many little classics here at the market.
Some people like ice cream cones. I like myself a meat cone. Saw this cone of meat and it was calling my name. Look at it, just the glistening shininess, like just at room temperature, the fat is already starting to melt. 5-year aged Jamon Iberico. So Jamon Iberico, Iberian ham, specific breed of pig that is fed a very specific diet. A diet of acorns, all this intermuscular fat that just makes it so good to eat. Look at this one. Look at all that fat. There's the pure fat, but then this is the extra good part in the middle, where it's like you got the meat and the fat all mixed together. So tender, so tender. Now this camera wasn't in my face. Each of these pieces I would take like 3 minutes to eat because you don't really want to chew this. You just want to swirl it around there, coat that fat all around your mouth. I hope I'm not grossing you out, but so good. Nutty taste flavor. I like to think it comes from its diet, but I'm sure the curing process really brings out that flavor. Cut so thin. It's so nice to like see them shave it as well with a blade. It takes so much skill to get it this thin. And it's not a machine. It's just a leg on a stand, and they're shaving it away with a knife with such precision. You can like see through it, the nuttiness. And then that's what makes this so unique and rich, concentrated flavor. The packaging, obviously excellent, but also look at the bags on the whole legs. Like that's how you know it's good stuff. It's worth it to put it in a bag, stamp your logo on there, really let people know this is my pride and joy. And I get it. I mean, if you put this much care and preparation into something, both like raising the animal, curing the animal for 5 years, and then shaving it so precisely into this beautiful cone, I get why the bag's necessary. It makes a lot of sense. Bougie. This is not our first Jamon Iberico here in Barcelona, but it is my favorite one yet. It just it's just more of that flavor. So, and the beauty is, if you're coming to Barcelona, you're probably going to be at this market. In fact, we saw people with suitcases walking up and down these, so even on their tiny stopover, they were at this market. So when you're at this market, come to Cinco Jotas and get yourself a Jamon Iberico cone. You will not regret it. Absolutely delicious. I mean, come on. Come on. This is the best Jamon Iberico I've ever had. Yeah, it really is.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Fresh juice is my primary love language. I am all about a good deal on some fresh juice. And here at the market, like, it's one of the top things. Like, I always go to Google when I search new places, and it pops up like top, like the top recommendations for food and drink. And everybody says getting fresh juice at this market is like the #1 thing to do. And like, boy, is there an insane variety, but also a variety of prices. We found juicy juice, which at least right now is the less expensive one. And we got to get just a coconut juice, because I mean, just look at this. It's so pure, beautiful. Just the fresh, creamy sweetness. This is exactly what you need. Barcelona, like, sometimes you forget that you're on the beach. You're here in the big city and it's bustling and it's so historic. And you forget that, like, you're kind of in a beach town. Like, you're here on the coast of the Mediterranean, and this definitely gives you that vibe again of like, I'm on vacation, I'm in a beach town. And for €2, like, you can't go wrong. Like, this is fantastic. Highly recommend Juicy Juice.
Spotted one of my absolute favorites, sea urchin, fresh. Hopefully they'll cut it open and I can eat it right here. I mean, what a treat. You do not get that very many places. Oh, I have the sea urchin. Come in and take a look at this. This is different. Honestly, this is quite different than what the only other experience I've had with fresh sea urchin in Japan. Even down to like the color. This is a redder sea urchin versus like the yellow I'm more used to. Green on the outside. I'm hoping that, I'm able to tell some differences between the local sea urchin here versus the one, you can find commercially and the ones I've had before. Scrape off the side here. Beautiful. Buttery, but I think it actually has more flavor than the sea urchin I'm used to. Closer to like the salinity or saltiness of an oyster, but with a really good like buttery mouthfeel that you get from sea urchin. I love that color. So red, orange. A little bit of sweetness in there as well. Very delicate, very delicious flavor. My only complaint is that there's only 5 of them and I'm already 2 through. He also squeezed some fresh lemon in there. Really helps lighten it a little. I gotta like scrape the edges here, make sure I'm getting all that goodness. So Madison was saying how the coconut juice reminds her that she's here on a coastal city. This is all I need to remind me that we're on a beach. Fresh seafood. So much variety. I mean, this is one of my favorites. When I see it, I have to get it. But there's so much to choose from here. This is seafood paradise. You see us eating plenty of food, but what you may not know is that we actually love cooking too. So whenever we're traveling, we try to learn what the local dishes are, finding local ingredients, local produce, and making locally themed food. I don't know if we always do it just right, but there's no better chance to learn to do it just right than to go to a cooking class.
Which makes starting with pan con tomate so perfect. We've been making this dish at our Airbnb since we got here, but turns out we've been overcomplicating it. The proper way to prepare it is just taking a stale piece of bread, rubbing raw garlic on it, rubbing a tomato on it till all you have left is skin, and then drizzling a little olive oil and sprinkling it with salt. Delicious. Our next toast is the alcohol kind, a toast to tradition as we pass around Catalonia's favorite wine vessel, a porron. So much fun. But this is a cooking class, so we also have to learn to make a drink.
How's your knife skills?
Well done. Basically Gordon Ramsay. A classic sangria with fresh orange juice, apples, oranges, cinnamon stick, sparkling water, and of course, wine. But the main event is, of course, the paella, which has us chopping, grating, sautéing. There are so many steps to make this delicious dish. But not only are we learning to make it, we're also learning a bit of the history. Paella is actually originally from Valencia, but as the dish spread around the country, different regions have different adaptations. In the one from Valencia, there would be absolutely no seafood. But here in Barcelona, with such great access to the Mediterranean, it is full of fresh seafood. And the paella pan was actually brought to Spain by the Roman Empire. And the rice and the saffron show the Arabic influence throughout the country. It's just so cool to see so much history and many cultures coming together and making something so delicious. And your paella will actually tell you when it's done. You just have to listen.
That noise is not good.
That's not good. That's good. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Find someone that looks at you the way Ivan looks at
No, he literally looks like he's admiring you.
Dinner is served, and of course the most important part is scraping those caramelized rice bits off the bottom and sides of the pan. Salud! And how did we do?
Good. We did great. I'm impressed with us. This is delicious. Paella, muy buena. Excelente. Delicioso.
Increíble.
Perfecto.
Perfecto.
I think I'm
Not a given. We've been hiking for miles.
Yeah, okay. Life is all about balance, guys. Life is all about the balance. And today was an absolutely epic, delicious day full of incredible Spanish foods. But after we finished our cooking class, we did this incredible hike to help us burn some of those calories.
Boy, did we.
To this absolutely incredible view of Barcelona. This is unreal. We can see the Sagrada Familia, we can see the W Hotel, we can see just all of the most beautiful, iconic buildings in the city. Like, this is the best view in the whole city. And yeah, this is a good time to do it for sure, because we ate a lot.
You know, the beautiful city ending in the clear blue water under a spectacular sunset.
This is such a romantic moment. This is like the perfect day in Spain. I mean, churros, Jamon Iberico, fresh juice. I've been getting some uni, and then just an amazing paella,
But
sangria.
learning to make it ourselves too.
Learning a little bit more about the actual history of the dishes that we're consuming. Oh, this is just the perfect day. Like, and yeah, the balance of it all, like actually going for a hike and helping digest all of that food we just consumed. Like, I already feel so much better. Like, we walked out of that class and I felt so full. And now, here we are.
250 calories later.
Almost humaning.
Thank
Highly
you.
recommend this adventure. Like, thank you so much for joining us for this mad adventure. This was epic. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It seriously helps us so much. Hit that like button and join us on the next one for some more incredible mad adventures here in Barcelona.
Really, hit the like button so I can eat more food. Thank you. Bye.